Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in this video what I want to do is talk about how to use JavaScript objects as a way of counting, because JavaScript objects are super flexible, and because of that they lend to this really awesome pattern that allows us to count things. Okay, particularly like if we're trying to count how many sometimes something shows up in a string or something like that. So let's say I did something like this. Let's say open new file. Let's just do it over here. New file. Okay, count.js. So what I want to do is create a string, and in this string I want to have like the words 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. And I want to be able to count how many times each word is in the string. Okay. And then return an object that tells me all the counts. So const count strings equals a function that takes in the string, and then it will return a thing. And then what we'll do is we'll test it out. Console.log count strings, and we will console log what happens if we pass it the string variable. Although I should probably call that something other than string. That's going to cause issues. Stringy. Okay, so new terminal. Now if I run the code now, node count.js, I should get undefined because the function doesn't do anything yet. But let's see here. First thing I'd like to do is just make sure that we split the string. So let's create an object called count. Const count equals an empty object. We'll see how we use that in a second. Const actually technically the punchline is that it's eventually going to return that count. So just to kind of illustrate, right now I'm just getting an empty object. Now I just need to think through, how do I get from the empty object that I want to return, fill it up with a count, and then return it. Okay, so I'm just going to think through that. First thing I want to do is split the string into array of words. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, so let's just do that, const words equals str dot split, and then we're going to split it by an empty space, so that way it splits into words. And just to confirm that that's what happens, let's console.log words. Again, always just, every time you do a step, always just double check that it worked. So yep, that worked. So I don't need that console log anymore. Good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loop over the words. Loop over the words. So I will use a for each loop. For each. So for every word, what I want to do for each word is this. I want to take the count object and then make a property in it called word. Now, if basically what we're going to do is this property is going to equal if count word is currently falsy, which means it doesn't have, like, we haven't counted this number before. If we have counted the number before, it's going to equal what it equals now. Plus 1. And if it doesn't equal that, like it's a falsy, then it's going to equal 1, because it'll be their first count. And that's it. This should give me my count. And there you go. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And each of those have the count next to them. Now, why does this work? We're taking advantage of the dynamic property, or the ability to set a key dynamically. So in that case, every time I'm checking, I'm creating a property that's the name is that word, and at the same time I can see, hey, does this property exist on this object yet? Because if it doesn't, then it's undefined, so that's falsy. So I'm checking, hey, does this property exist yet? If it doesn't, I'm setting it to 1, because that means we're counting for the first time. And if generally after the first time, we're just going to be adding 1, so I'm going to take the current value when it's true and add 1 to it. and then that's just going to keep counting. It doesn't matter how many words. Like, let's try a bigger string of text. Let's try some lorem ipsum text. Lorem ipsum. Okay, lorem ipsum generator. Let's just grab a big chunk of text here. And let's see what the result is. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's complaining about the string. Someone just changed these in the backtick so that way it doesn't complain about all the... There we go. Okay. And the reason why I did that is because with backticks, you can have more than one line. Like, when you have like double quotes or single quotes, you can't have multi-line strings. So you can't have like line breaks in the string. But you can with backticks, because string literals are awesome. So now let's see how this works out. Okay, and you see like it breaks it down. See, there's anything that was there more than once? Oh, yep, there we saw something. Well, comes was in there more than once, and I don't see any like duplicate keys, so that's good. The was in there 6 times. From was in there 4 times. Of was in there 7 times. And see, it works. Okay, again, yay for programmatic thinking. Because see, like this bundle of codes here, okay, now exists and can be used, you know, no matter how big the string is, and I don't have to change it. It just works. Okay, and again, just gonna put the comment here of what the logic is. Okay, if check if property of the word exists, if so, add 1. If not, start it at 1. And that's it. That's essentially what we're doing. Now, so this can be really useful when you need to count things. Okay, so that's sort of the way we played that game. But I mean, when you try to think of other ways you would kind of do the same thing, yeah, this is much easier. Okay, cool. So I just want to kind of go over that. That's just another really cool thing you can do with objects. I've done a lot of other videos on other cool strategies you can do with objects, such as like taking this kind of same premise but using it to like use the object as a if statement or a switch statement by basically putting a bunch of functions under keys, but dynamically invoking functions through a dynamic key. Also cool things you can do with objects. Objects are super awesome. So use them. See you later.